Last focus day. Bulldog Day. Bulldog Day. Bulldog Day. Get your trainee excited for Bulldog Day. On Saturday or Sunday, baby. That's when I would do Bulldog Day if I were you. If you want to do it on a Monday, it's your trainee, your stamp, your branding, your prerogative. But if I were you, I'd do it on either Saturday or Sunday. And I'd make Bulldog Day.
Bulldog Day.
That's when you're like, okay, we're going to get in like an hour early and prep all of our produce so we got like 16 to 18 bags underneath. We're doing Bulldog Day.
Bulldog Day.
It's a race to 20 shows. One of the questions in the Bulldog Day quiz is how many shows did you do? Okay, don't think that we won't be paying attention to that. We want to see how many shows can you get out in a day. Don't overwork your trainee. That's all. Make sure that they get 8 hours in. But if you're already at Popo and you're feeling good about it, you could come in at 8, prep all the produce, put your first show up at 9, bulldog a little bit, have them in at noon. You get to leave at 6, and then they work till 9 and close out the day. So they get the PM shift, which is good for the trainee. The store gets worked for 12 hours. You bulldog the whole way through, and you just see how many shows you can get. And if you do it on a Saturday or Sunday, you're balling one of the strongest days of the week. Yes, Nikki.
I'm sorry. This is not just the trainee doing it. It's off and on, so.
Oh, absolutely. This is not no. This is definitely you.
Okay.
All the focus days are all you. You cannot leave the trainee alone until they are capable of doing their own shifts, and you've spent at least a solid 7 days with them. Meaning day 1, 2, and 3, and all 4 focus days. Yes.
So obviously, if you have 2 trainees, you're splitting them into shifts on Bulldog Day.
Darn right. Bulldog Day. We want to get these trainees excited to do shows. And the best way to do that is pick one day out of training where the only focus is do as many shows as you possibly can. How many shows do you think we can do today? My last trainee did 21 shows today on Bulldog Day. How many do you think you can do on Bulldog Day?
Bulldog Day.
30 shows in Bulldog Day?
Bulldog Day.
Let's see it, baby. Yeah. Yeah, let's prep the produce. We're doing 30 bags right now. We're not leaving until 11 p.m. I'm just playing. I'm only allowed to work you 8 hours. It's the rule. But seriously, we're staying until 11 p.m.
Wait, so what's the day called? That was your cue. Come on, man.
No, he only says it when I say it.
Oh. Okay, when you say what?
The point is that you're putting up one show right after the next, so if somebody says the magic words, you repeat right after them. Bulldog Day. Bulldog.
The idea, guys, is making them as hungry as we possibly can.
Bulldog Day.
This is. Oh, stop doing it to him. He's a kid. He's gonna play this game with you every time.
Stop saying Bulldog Day.
Okay, guys, make them as hungry as you can with the time that you have. This is the day we prove what is possible. If you are doing par and you get 22 shows out, how many sets are you going to put out?
110.
That's correct. Ethan? Sorry, that was a bad draw. That's correct, Natalie. 110. If you can show a trainee within their first week that we can put out 110 sets in a store every time that you did training, wouldn't that be nice?
Hard as 6.
Hard as 5. 5 times 22. It says 22. It's just pay attention in school, no worries. How much commission gets paid out on that, approximately, going off $7?
$797.
$770.
Mary, you said it first. The right one.
880 if you're in a grocery.
That's true. Okay? So the moral of the story here is Bulldog Day is basically like a hoorah day. Which is why he's doing this. It's a hoorah day.
Hoorah.
Yeah! It should be a fun day. It shouldn't be like, oh man, I gotta do Bulldog Day. It should be like, yeah, we're gonna go in, we're gonna do as many shows as we can. I'm gonna be 4 espresso in, but who cares? Okay? So these are the 4 focus days. Does that make sense to everybody?
Can't wait for Bulldog Day.
Awesome. Any questions, comments, or concerns about the training process up until this point? These 4 focus days, day 1, 2, and 3. Adam.
You mentioned something about 8 hours per day. I just going back to, I believe it was store day 2, the first day that they're pitching. I believe you said they come in at noon and they put up their last show at 8:15. It's a minimum of 8 hours. Like, I just want to be clear on how much we're supposed to be working them.
The idea is you want them to, you're going to preach 8 hours of fun, 8 hours of work, 8 hours of sleep. And at the end of the day, I believe that, and I think that that's what's right. But we work a little more than that, don't we?
But they're getting an hour lunch, so technically, they're
Not if you're training with me,
They
you're not
are?
getting an hour
Mine doesn't
lunch.
an hour lunch either.
You go to lunch while I'm doing a show, and it's
Oh,
going to take about a half hour.
Hey, you do your shows right. You got your bags prepped. You got 20 minutes between each show.
Or however long.
I mean, the moral of the story here, guys, is don't overwork your training. Your training should never feel like, I'm being overworked, I'm being overworked, I'm being overworked, I hate this, I hate this, I hate this. And don't let your trainee overwork himself or herself. Like a Chad Richardson, who came in day 1, was like, I'm ready to go from 9 to 9, baby. And I was like, that's going to change. And day 4, he was like, I'm ready to go from 9 to 11 now. And I was like, that's a 14-hour day, bro. Like, you don't want to do that. And then day 7, he's like, I'm ready to go from 9 to mid. Does this store 24 hours? And I was like, you're going home right at 8 hours. 9 to 5, and you go home and take a break.
It wasn't until week 5 that he was like, hey man, so about a day off.
It's about not burning your trainees out.
Thank you.
Is at the end of the day.
Thank you.
They will probably work between 8 and 9 hours every day, give or take. Because if they come in at 12 and they pitch till 9, they get to go home around 9. That's not a crazy day. It's about 8 hours. See what I'm getting at?
Yes, thank you.
But we don't want them being in the store at 9 a.m. and working until 9 p.m. days 1 through 6. Because that's not cool. And then that starts to be like, when am I going to get a day off? They're doing that day 4. Because they're working so long and they're so tired. And you send them home with homework and stuff. And they're like, I can't keep up with this. Maybe this is for me. So don't burn them out. Don't hurt them. But keep them hungry and keep them working hard. Because the harder that they work during training.
The harder they work outside of training.
Correct.
On the subject of not burning out, and this may be covered, and I'm sorry if it has already been over, but they've got the 7 days straight of the first week of training. Are we giving them a day or 2 off before the next week of training begins?
That's going to be an organic thing. You're going to have to discuss that with Mr. Coffey.
Okay.
Right now, we're giving you the training days, the schedule of that. What happens organically in between that is something you can discuss with him.
Okay.
My personal opinion is, if they're flown out to me and they're staying in my hotel with my money from my company and my rental car, and we paid for everything and we're paying for their gas and we're giving them $25 a day to eat, they're mine. They're in my apprenticeship. They don't get a day off. They just roll straight through so we can send them home back to their market and put them in the spot that they need to be put in to be an active member, in which case they will then get the proper days off.
Okay.
But when you're in my apprenticeship, when you're on the team and you're learning how to play the game and you're doing doubles in August so that you can do, the proper practice schedule and play the games during September through November. My coach didn't care that we were doing doubles in August. He was like, you got to learn how to do the plays right, otherwise you can't play football. So you're gonna be here at 8 a.m. You're gonna practice till 11, and you're gonna come back at 3, and you're gonna practice till 6. I was like, that's the whole day, coach. Yeah, I did. 5 years actually.
And you're with them too, so it's
And
not so bad.
yes, exactly. It's not so bad. And the thing is, with the type of money that's on the table for trainers, if you're like, oh man, I really kind of need a day off, gee willikers, this 6 days in a row is really killing me, then maybe this isn't for you.
Amen.
Your training's going to get the
Allison,
same
how many
attitude as
days in a
well.
row have you been working now?
Well,
Counting yesterday as a working day.
I mean, since the
You've been working a lot. You've been doing a lot of work.
I mean, does flying on a plane to another store count as a day off?
Okay, it's not to say that it's not to say that this new program is trying to poise itself to burn you out either. We want everybody to have the proper time to sharpen the axe. Because you all know the story, right? There were 2 lumberjacks. They each were given the same axe, and they said, go into the forest and cut down as many trees as you can. And whoever comes back with the most amount of trees, that's the lumberjack that we're going to hire to work. And the other one's going to go home without a job. And they were like, oh man, this is serious. So they both go run into the forest with their axes, and the one lumberjack just starts hacking away, like boom, boom, tree done, boom, boom, tree done, boom, boom, tree done, not stopping. The other lumberjack goes in, hacks down a tree, and leaves the forest. And one lumberjack looks back and goes, this guy's an idiot. I'm going to totally win this. Leaves the forest, goes right outside the forest. He had a sharpening stone waiting right at the edge of the forest. Sharpens his axe. Sharpens his axe. Goes back into the forest, hits another tree down. Comes right outside, sharpens the axe. Goes back into the forest, 2 more trees. Comes out, sharpens the axe. Eventually, the other guy's like starting to get tired. His axe is dulling. He doesn't know what to do. And he's like getting tired, exhausted. Finally, he's like, I don't know if I can cut down any more trees. I think I got enough. But this lumberjack number 2 just kept sharpening the axe. Chop 2 trees down, sharpen the axe. Chop 2 trees down, sharpen the axe. Chop 2 trees down. And at the end of the week, who had more wood? That's absolutely right. Because the other guy got burnt out and gave up. And that's exactly what's going to be expected of us as trainers. Chop 2 trainees down, sharpen the axe. Chop 2 trainees down, sharpen the axe. Chop 2 trainees down, sharpen the axe.